Well, there goes my efficiency. Probably lost a couple ounces. Grains, being a slob trying to hurry up and mill the grains. But hey, start of a brew day, doing the collaboration with Dennis, Woodshed Brewing. There he is over there on the camera. Yeah, we're just getting started and get ready to mash in.
How are we doing, Matt?
So hey, how are you looking over there?
I am at 154. I got 6 degrees to go. My grains are crushed. About 2 or 3 minutes. I'm ready to mash in. How about you?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm just got the grains in the kettle. I can mash in too.
I just hit 160. So you want to mash in?
Let's do it.
Perfect. All right.
All right, been mashing in for about 15 minutes so far. I got a good recirculation, and just got a sample here, waiting for the temperature to come down. It's got a nice light golden color, and since this is a watermelon wheat, the watermelon will give it some pinkish hue. And there you go. That's right where I wanted it to be. We're sparging out. Just delivered the last of the water from the HLT to sparge with. Filling up that boil kettle. I got the lids on because we got these flies around here love the sweet wort. That's over the element now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on the element here shortly. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to the boil kettle. And I've had set this 200. Get it there and keep it there until we're at volume, and then I'll go ahead and bring this up to a boil. 6.5 gallons in the kettle now.
That's exactly what I've got in my kettle. I'm just letting it drain out over here hanging. I may pick up another, maybe a little bit more than a quarter, but I probably maybe a couple of cups will all come out of this. But 6.5 right now is what I've got.
Yeah, I think I'll probably be okay if I can get to at least 7. I think I'll be all right.
And these hops smell good.
I do lose some through the chiller and all that. So.
Right.
Oh, I haven't opened this up yet. Does it smell good?
Oh, it smells awesome.
All right, let me see. We're doing a half an ounce and then a half at the end.
Right. Yep. Very pungent.
Be a good thing to try. Stone fruit, tropical, citrus, cherry, raspberry candy.
This would be one of those like for Tipsy Smurf or my Sandstorm. If you want it, we didn't hop it, but this would be one of those ones to hop. If you want to dry hop it or something like that to have a hop character, it follow along with it.
I mean, maybe that's what I use the rest of this on is the sour that I'm going to do.
There you go. Yeah, that'd be kind of a cool to back it up.
All right, we got a nice rolling boil going there now, but we might have another glitch here, maybe another sensor going. Not sure. I'll have to play with this after brew day. But it says it's 219 in there. Obviously, it's not. 220. But hey, this is all I care about. I'm at 55%, which is what I normally do for boiling, and we're gonna get ready to drop in the hops. All right, 60-minute hops. Trying out some new hops from the yeast experiment. These are HBC 630. Start that timer there. And then we're going to put another amount in at the end. Very small, keeping the IBUs low on this one. Probably 20, 21. But yeah, check back in here towards the end there once we're done and we're ready for another hop drop. Okay, brew day is over. We are now chilling. Just turned on the water, so this is going to be starting to drop pretty soon. So we got a nice whirlpool starting there. Got everything opened up all the way over here. Looks like we are at, I guess that still has to climb too. And down here it looks like we're starting to drop. So we're coming back into the kettle at 110 currently. So this is a Kavaiki, so I'm okay with bringing this down to, say, 90. I'm just putting it in the fermenter. We've got a good whirlpool going there now. Kind of a slow one, you can see it kind of going around the edge. But once this hits 170, which is just about there, we're not actually doing a formal whirlpool, but Dennis and I have decided that we're going to put the rest of the hops in here at the end to get some of the aroma and flavor out of them. It's only half an ounce of the HBC 630 that we got from the yeast experiment from our fine sponsors over at Yakima Chief. That's pretty close. So we're at 172, 171. I'm going to go ahead and drop those in now. And this way we'll just let that kind of do its thing while this is dropping the rest of the way to pitching temps. That's what we're going to do for this brew, because it's not supposed to be very hop forward, but we do want to see what these hops will bring to this beer. Alright, we're getting the fermenter ready to go. Got some star sand going in there. Got the tilt going. And well, I just messed with it, so it's got to come back down again. But yeah, got the tilt all calibrated. Should come back down to the 10000, which it is now. So yeah, that's pretty good. There we go. So it's good to go there. We're just chilling the rest of the way. We're at 106. You know, I'm going to try to get this to 90. So I'm going to ferment this at 80. Right now, coming out of the chiller, we're at 90. So here probably pretty soon I'm going to go ahead and start transferring it. Just finishing setting up the rest of this here, but it's pretty safe to start moving it.
Yeah, I just moved mine over into the kettle. Pitching these now.
Alright, so we didn't quite hit our volume, but that's okay. Went ahead and stirred this up. I decanted a little bit of it. This is the Juggernaut. I'll go ahead and put that in here. Boom. And then we have the tilt. And put that in here as well. We'll seal this up. We have our airlock set up here. We're going to do this time. The bung. Alright, there's the airlock. Trying to do this one-handed. See if I can do it. Yeah, look at that. Ready to go. We're at 84 degrees, and I'm just going to let this sort of free fall in the ferment chamber, well, behind all the Hello Fresh boxes. And we'll set the heating belt on there. We got it set to 80 degrees. So I'm just going to let it kind of fall into that range on its own tonight, and actually let it stay there. All right. Day to add in the watermelon. The beer is pretty much terminal. It's down to 1013, so we're going to go ahead and add this in. And I usually try to go for 8 cups, so I get a good sized watermelon. And that usually gets me around 8 cups. If I go a little more, it's okay. Sanitized everything, of course, star sand, sprayed everything down, even the watermelon, just to be safe, because why not? And what I usually do, I can't find my other strainer, so I don't know what happened to it. Usually like to use like a wire strainer. I'm sure you've seen this before. This will have to do. If I get a couple little chunks in there, it's not the end of the world, but mostly I want just the juice. So what I usually do is I cut this up. I use a strainer or like a potato masher, mash the pulp essentially and get the juice out of it into something like this, and then I'll measure it out, see how much I get. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And just to give you an idea here, that's really what I'm looking to do. So I just want the red out of there. Don't want any of the green. So this is just the end of it that I scooped out. And then we'll just take this masher, and we're just gonna mash like this to get as much of the juice out of it as we can. So I usually I'll just take a chunk at a time like this and carve out the middle. You basically end up with this, and I'll just do this for each section, just trying to get as much of the red off of there without the green. Just trim that off if that happens. Put it in there, chunk it up, and mash. That simple. Alright, so we're about halfway through the watermelon. We're at 4 cups. That's a 5-cup measuring cup. It's all, chopped up, mashed, turned into juice. Problem is, well, as I feared with the bigger holes there, is right here you can see it's pretty murky. So it's probably got some seeds in there. Yeah, it does. And a little bit chunky. So what I did was I took a paint strainer that I was using for those mini mashes in a pitcher, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to sift out the rest of that this way. So we'll just pour this in here, and that'll hopefully clear out the rest of that. It should. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Yep, that's much better. So we'll do this, again, get the rest of that watermelon there, and should give us about 8 cups. All right, here's what we're left with. So that's probably, it's more than 8 cups. It might be 9. That's fine. I'll go ahead and dump that in there, and just probably let this drip dry for a minute. But yeah, that's a good amount of watermelon juice right there. Pretty well strained. Probably not the best, because normally, like I said, I use a wire strainer, but I just couldn't find it. But this paint strainer should get out most of the rest of that nonsense there, and we're left with a pretty clear, pretty particulate-free watermelon juice. Bring our volume up too, actually, which is kind of nice, because I was a little low. Again, probably overkill. It hasn't gone anywhere. Yeah, and that'll change the beer to a kind of a pinkish color. It already went to 1020, so it's probably going to kind of level out here, and then I'll be able to get a good idea of what the ABV will be. So we started at 1055, it went down to 1012, and then it's creeped back up again. And then we'll take that difference when it ferments out again and add that in and see what the ABV is. And we'll have a pretty good idea where it's actually at. So we're gonna let this sit now for another, so it's been in primary for, let's see, we brewed on Thursday, so we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Adding this in, probably going to give it another couple of days, and then probably by the weekend we'll be looking to cold crash. Hey guys, Matt here at Brewery. So I thought I'd do a review at the end of this. I wanted to put together a grain to glass. So you've seen the brewing footage, and now this is the review. Dennis Penn and Dennis from Woodshed Brewing, we did a collab back in, I believe, August, and we put together our watermelon wheat. Now, we used what I use as a base for my watermelon wheat beer, but we did make a couple of alterations just to kind of make it our own. For one, we did the watermelon juice as I always do, but we used this Olive Nation watermelon extract, and we put this in at the end when we went to keg. So just to give you guys a rundown of the recipe, for me at least, it was 6.5 pounds of wheat, 4.5 pounds of Pilsner, half a pound of carapils, and some acidulated malt to get the pH to come down. We used some hops from the brew tubers, experiment some of the ones that we got back from our sponsors. So we ended up using the HBC 630. We put a half an ounce at 60 and a half an ounce at the chilling mark. We both used two different yeasts. I ended up using the maniacal Juggernaut, and he used, I believe, the Berserker. We mashed it at 149. I got a pH of 5.27 in my mash. I ended up pitching at 84 degrees, and I just raised the temperature slightly when to finish it out. It did finish out for me at 10:07, started off at 10:55. So it's about a 6.3% beer. This is actually my last canned one. I'm keeping it around in case somebody wanted to take one home. But this is kind of the lab work I've done for mine. I called mine Blind Farmer watermelon wheat. I just put like a little picture of a farmer there with some shades. Thought that was kind of cool. Dennis stepping up his game with his labels for Woodshed Brewing. We both use the same size cans, and we both are using the October. Thank you, Dennis, for suggesting the October. I absolutely love this canner. Let's go ahead and get Dennis's into a glass using our muffin top glasses. Shout out to Brewing America, another sponsor for the brew tubers. Now this isn't all going to fit in here because this is a 16-ounce can. These are essentially pint glasses, or slightly less than pint glasses. I guess they're about 12 ounces. Man, look at that carbonation. I was about to say that I had an unfair advantage pouring mine off the keg, and as you can see, it's already died down a little bit. No problem at all with this carbonation. You can see the bubbles rising up through the sides, no problem. Nice tight bubbles, frothy head, very similar to what mine was when I poured it. Mine's kind of still sticking around a little bit. Shout out to Brian, Short Circuited Brewers. He's a fellow brew tuber as well, using his glass. He also has a muffin top glass style from Brewing America. So right off the bat, Dennis's is a little bit darker, but I think we did a yeast experiment with a lot of these Kvike yeast, and we found out that the Juggernaut was a little bit lighter in the beer that we did, at least, than the Berserker. I noticed the Berserker was a little bit more orange in the sample we had from that. So this is showing about the same. So it's, they have about the same clarity. Mine's maybe a tinge clearer just because it's been sitting in the keg for so long. But his is probably a little bit more of an orange hue, almost like a grapefruit kind of look to it. That's pretty cool. I'm just gonna go with mine first, just for a somewhere to kind of start from. When I first brewed this, it was wow, watermelon in the nose. This still has a good watermelon presence to it and some citrus in the nose. It's not as hit you over the head like it was when it was first brewed, but it's mellowed out to a nice balance. Cheers. Yeah, it's super refreshing, super crusher. I mean, keg's practically gone. I may have a pull left in it. It's very, very light. I'm the only one drinking it, so I've been trying to savor it. It's a really nice, refreshing beer. Great summer beer. It's got a good. You kind of get like the you get a good watermelon taste, and I think it's the Olive Nation that's kind of helping that along. But you're getting a little bit of that sort of vegetal, like the rind, sort of from the watermelon taste in there too, and it comes out real nice. It's a good topper for the wheat beer. Yeah, Dennis's has a very similar nose. You definitely get some watermelon there. actually wonder if I put a little bit more of that watermelon extract than he did. I think we agreed on putting what, a half an ounce maybe. Yeah, I think we agreed on half an ounce. I ended up putting in 3/4 of an ounce. It was just me overshooting my measurement, really. Just my bad, but it turned out okay. This is nice. It's got a nice sort of like subtle watermelon presence to that, and you get a little bit of that sort of like citrusy, grapefruity kind of a nose to it as well. Very nice. Cheers. Thank you, Dennis, for sending this. Yeah, they're similar in the taste for sure. You know, I'm definitely getting a little bit of that watermelon in the taste. Yeah, his is more. His is definitely a little bit more subtle. It's very nice. I actually like that balance. I like both really. You know, this one has just a little bit more cranked up on the watermelon, but that's only probably because of this extract. I'm guessing. And Dennis, you can let us know what you've done here that might be different. I did 8 cups. It was almost 9 cups of watermelon juice in this, and then 3/4 ounce of the extract at kegging. So I'd be curious to know the exact differences of yours if you remember. That is delicious. That is a really, really nice wheat beer. Very solid for the summertime. You know, real good crusher. Sitting out on the deck on a hot day. This is exactly what you would want. And you got a really good carbonation level to that. I love it. Well, Dennis, this was an excellent collaboration. I look forward to doing more with you. Collab King. That's Dennis, our BrewTubers Collab King. He's been getting around and brewing with everybody. But I would like to do another one with you, Dennis. We'll figure something out. But hey, I'll see everybody on the next video. Cheers. Go out double fisted. Everybody have a good night. Take care. Really good. Really good. Take care, everybody.